up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
I'm just a bachelor looking for a partner, someone who knows how to ride without even falling off. Gotta be compatible, takes me to my limits. Girl, when I break you off, I promise that you won't wanna get out. You're on it, let's do it. Ride it, my pony, my saddle's waiting, coming, jump on it. You're on it, let's do it. Ride it, my pony, my saddle's waiting, coming, jump on it. Sitting here flossing, beeping your stilo. Just once, if I had the chance, the things I would do to you. You and your body, every single portion, sent chills up and down your spine. The juice is flowing down your thighs. You're on it, let's do it. Ride it, my pony, my sandals waiting, coming, jump on it. You're on it, let's do it. Ride it, my pony, my sandals waiting, coming, jump on it. If we're gonna get nasty, baby, first we'll show and tell, till I reach your ponytail. Look all over and through you, baby, until I reach your street. You'll be on my jockey team. You're on it, let's do it. Ride it, my pony, my saddle's waiting, coming, jump on it. You're on it, let's do it. Ride it, my pony, my saddle's waiting, coming, jump on it. You're on it, let's do it. Ride it, my pony, my saddle's waiting, coming, jump on it. You're on it, let's do it.
Well, it would appear that we are, hopefully, live on this. What are we going with? Tuesday? Let's go with that. Tuesday night, right? Good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be in this absolutely mental world that we live in. Yeah, where do you indeed start? Geoengineering? Climate change? Yeah, Sounds great, right? How lucky are we to have people like Bill Gates and these societies and universities with their scientists who want to save the planet from the weather. Let's go with that. Anyway, I am here, in full bot form this evening. Hello once again, and thank you for joining tonight. I was live, not here, but on the last Jacobites last night, and touching on the juice, right? The Pfizer report. Have we seen that? Yeah, how long have you got? I mean, the people that have had the Pfizer juice, they must be shitting it, right? I mean, they probably should not look at it. That's the best idea. Stay clear of it. You don't want to know. The list of adverse effects, fucking hell. Yeah, let's not go there tonight. But we did touch on it last night, and I did I uploaded it to BitChute and Odyssey. So if you want to check it out, that's the place to go. I think the war aside at the moment, climate change is all the rage. That's what that's what it's all about. But the climate change agenda, it's always been in the background in terms of the media narrative. They've kind of always went from, in the past at least, the COVID narrative, the pandemic narrative, the juice narrative, to now climate change. But now it seems to be the war narrative, and now here's the climate change, the latest news. Because even Sky News have got a daily show, I think, that they do they do on climate change. So it is well and truly all the rage at the moment. In my own personal opinion, I think a lot of it is due to, if you want to call it geoengineering, then yeah, the spraying, weather modification, weather manipulation. It's certainly not a conspiracy theory. Far from it. If only, in fact, if only it fucking was, but it ain't. How lucky are we, right? Let me quickly jump in the chat. Can we get a quick audio check to make sure we're all good to go? Hopefully I last. My throat's still not completely 100%. I don't know what's going on. My throat's done. I'm going to have to give up talking completely before I lose my voice forever. Can you buy a new voice from anywhere? eBay, Amazon, Chinese eBay, Russian eBay. Oh man, I'll be touching on Russia on, let me think, Friday. We're going to get back into Russia, the war, the new war order, if you like. Yeah, Freemasons, them again, shock horror. Them pesky Freemasons. You know when in Scooby Doo, it's the janitor, it's the Freemason. That's what it's like. I shit you not. Of course, when it comes to Freemasonry, there's different branches of the secret society tree, if you like. It's got many branches, but all in all, working for the same trunk, the same agenda, right? So let me see if I can quickly say hello, if I'm any good. I'm terrible with the comments, so I do apologise. Scott Tarmer, there you go. Done a great live on Sunday night, him and DJ and the rest of the guys. I really enjoyed it. So if you've not seen it, check it out. I think Steve, our brother Steve, he was there, if I recall. Hopefully, is my memory that bad? I'm sure Steve, I know that because Steve does a great job putting different links in the chat box. So I've got a lot of time for Steve, and I appreciate everything that he does. I don't know how he does it. He's like AI, but he's super fast at doing it as well. Got all these links out of nowhere. I think he might have a neuro link in him. We might touch on that as well. I seen a really weird comment from about 2008, I think, about a guy who claimed he had a brain chip like the one Elon's got. And I remember thinking, well, I don't think the chip was out or even talked about then, but I'm unsure. But looking back on it, or into it even, there was something similar to what Elon's got, and that got made in 2002. And I never even knew that, if I'm honest. Maybe I didn't, and I forgot, but I can't remember it. I didn't think that technology had been made that early, but there you go. Shows you what I know, right? You live and you learn. So hello to Steve in the hood and our brother, excuse me, Scott's Armour. Good to see you back again in the hood. Mad Fox, there you go. Where are you? There you go there. Mad Fox McCafferty. Back again. Good to have you. Anthony, Tony Soprano in the hood. Back again. Much appreciated. Thank you for your time tonight. Look out. It's going to be fun in games, right? Surely, geoengineering, climate change. We have touched on before. What is it they call it? Climate change anxiety. That's what even kids are getting it. They're, I guess, scared of the climate. They're scared of the weather. What have they done to these poor children? Even adults worried about it. So worried that it's unbelievable, to be honest. And we will expand on it a bit more once I say hello. Who else have we got? Diane, there you go. Justine as well. Good to have you both back again. A regular, both of you as well. It's always good to see people coming back, right? I hope you're both doing well. JP as well. There you go. Who else did I see? Jojo Gizmo back again. Good to have you. Exiled Viking in the hood. Good to have you back again. Linda, there you go. I'm unsure what the comment is. I'm hopeless, so you've got to let me off, right? Dave as well. There you go, back again. Netherlands. Wow. Yeah, I'd love to go there. I really would. Zainab as well. Back again, my good friend Zainab. Good to have you in the hood. Now, if I did miss you, I do apologise, right? But I'm going to kind of... Richard as well. There you go. Back again. Good to have you in the hood, Richard. Jojo, what we saying? The first electric car, 1834. Yeah. It didn't fit the agenda, though. It got brushed aside. Yeah, we don't want that yet, right? It's all about the petrol, the oil industry. Rockefeller, of course. The Rockies, they would not have liked. They would not have liked everyone having a electric car. Not at all. The good old Rockefellers. Again, we're so lucky to have these entities looking after us, right? It's about time. It's about time we put it to an end. Let's be honest. And hey, in doing that, we likely will have to take 2 steps back. It could be the only way forward. At the moment, we seem to be getting dragged into, I guess, a world war. It's not that at the moment, but it could end up that with the way it's going. Like I said on Friday, we're going to get into that a wee bit more. So hello to everyone tonight, Tony, Justine, and Diane as well. Good to have you back again. Yeah, I shared a video yesterday on the live that I done from Vernon Coleman. If you've not seen it, check it out. You'll find Vernon. You'll find him on Brand YouTube. Let me get a drink. Whiskey, right? Keep me going. So if you look at Brand on YouTube, you'll find Vernon Coleman. His latest video, it's called Chronic Mastitis. Oh man, I shouldn't laugh, but honestly, chronic mastitis. This is a disease that Coleman's coined, that people who they won't take off their mask, they want to wear it forever. That's what they've got, chronic mastitis. If you've not seen it, you're going to have to check it out, right? Like I said, I did upload it to BitChute and Odyssey. I couldn't remember there. The cathedrals were actually power stations. Yeah, quite an interesting one, that. I don't think I've heard of that one. With me staying in little old Elgin, we do have a cathedral, so I might go there to get some power if we get a power shortage, right? Yeah, make sure that you check out Vernon Coleman on Brand and YouTube, right? Hopefully I've got that right. Anyway, oh man, my throat's gone already. Oh, happy days, right? I appreciate everyone for jumping in tonight. I'm unsure. I'm assuming that the audio's all right. I think we're all good. Did someone ask about a wrench? I thought I seen a comment about a wrench. Maybe not. I am blind as a bat as well. But if someone's asking for a wrench, then we can't make it happen, right? Where there is a will, there is indeed a way. Seemingly. Anyway, thank you to everyone for jumping in tonight. Much appreciated. So let's the audio's all right. There you go. Good man, Richard. Much appreciated. And thank you for the messages that you've sent me in the past. Top man, right? Yeah, chronic mastitis cracked me up. It really did. Oh man, I mean the doctor's great, but he's quite comical as well. He's got a great sense of humour. I've got a lot of time for Vernon Coleman. I'm unsure what happened with him and Richie Allen. They kind of were together and then they fell out. So who knows, right? I guess it's their business, whatever did happen, but it seemed to be a bit abrupt how they kind of parted ways, and they never spoke of each other after being quite close. But people can fall out as well. That happens, right? But yeah, chronic mastitis. Of course, no one here will have chronic mastitis. Surely fucking not. I hope to God not. Oh man, I know for a fact everyone here would not obsessively use these masks. It's crazy. Wrenches for everyone. Yeah, I done that before, and it got a bit out of hand. So, I'm gonna try and limit it a wee bit to stop it from getting out of hand and people accidentally removing comments and stuff like that. So, if you have got a wrench or you do get one, It's a privilege, right? We'll go with that. Of course, it's not. It's nothing. But what it does mean is that you could share a link if the fault police let you at YouTube. Anyway, we're yapping on. Much appreciated for everyone jumping in tonight. Disease X. Has there been talk of that again? They done a did. I'm sure they done an exercise on Disease X. I remember we done a video on it. Because I think we asked the question: is Disease X the COVID? I'm sure we done a video on that about, I don't know, over a year ago now. I'll have to look into it again, but I certainly remember Disease X. Where's the aliens at? Yeah, where's ET? We're all waiting on him coming back. I think I said I've kind of thought for quite a while actually that if they do pull an alien deception, it will likely be when we're fucking down and out on our absolute knees, and with what's going on in the world at the moment, I think we're heading. I think we're heading that way. So yeah, maybe by 2030 they might pull it, and the masses will accept anything that they offer up, anything other than the current structure. What we're basically seeing at the moment is the destruction of the world that we knew. They're not calling it a great reset for the fun of it. It's basically gone in motion. I'm unsure if it could even be stopped, to be honest. We can certainly try and put a spanner in the works and fight against it. We've got to, in my opinion, do what's right, and that's say no, not comply, and fight against the absolute tyranny. Because that's what we live under. Some people might think it's not, and that's fine, but I tend to think different. Anyway, let's jump into the world of climate change and geoengineering. Hip hip hooray, right? We'll get rid of my wee screen. Is that still on? Yeah, we're still going. That's all right. Can you see? I think you can see it. Some of you may remember about a year ago, maybe longer, we covered some of the great ideas that they had to combat the weather, to reverse climate change. And obviously, yes, spraying the fucking skies was the main one. But another one that they had, it cracks me up. It really does. I don't know why, but it was what they called space mirrors, where they put mirrors in quote unquote space and reflect heat back to space. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds fucking terrible. It really does. What an idea that is, right? But I think they will eventually also go with it. I think every idea that they've got, they're going to try out. And from what I can see, they're only going to dig us even further into a worse situation. I don't think. Excuse me. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. No one denies that the climate changes. What we question is the reasoning why it's changing. No one denies that the climate changes. I don't think I've ever met anyone who denies that it changes. But we do have serious questions when it comes to what's going on in the world that we're in terms of the weather. Uh, Today, where I am, it's quite windy, but it's kind of nothing new, to be honest, at this time of year. But people, because climate change is all over the media, that's what the sheep speak about. Oh, well, it'll be climate change. That's how easily they're manipulated. My dog's away on. I thought he might have been sleepwalking. He's lying down now. Anyway, let me grab a drink. Right. Another idea that they had is to seemingly collect carbon from the atmosphere, then store it underground in like a underground carbon farm. Hip hip hooray, right? What an idea that is. And of course, there's, I think, for a very long time been talk about cities going underwater. Run for the hills quickly. You're going to be underwater because of the climate change. That's what they say. So we're going to touch on that because there's more news. Would you believe it? Yeah, they're not letting that one go. Our brother James is in the hood. Good to have you back again. Dave, yeah. Yeah, exactly. But the narrative won't have you think that way. No, no, no. Of course not, right? I think CO2, they want to get rid of us as well. I think we might be the carbon. Um, Everything in the planet is the way it's meant to be. What they plan on doing is going to seriously mess it up even more than what they've done. Because let's not beat about the bush. They've been spraying the skies for, I don't know, 60, 70, 80, 80 plus. Let's go with that. Years. What have they done? Honestly. So let me make this so I can see it. I might not be able to see the comments. I will try. Oh man, I'm hopeless. There you go. So the IPCC. Yeah. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Wow. Hip hip hooray. We are not worthy. Now, this group is the go to for all you need to know on climate change. Don't go anywhere else. Don't bother looking anywhere else. Don't bother listening to anyone else except the IPC fucking C. Got it? Now, you can see the two logos. The IPCC came about due to these two companies, two organizations, of course. Very Masonic looking logos, if I do say. Created in seemingly 1988 by the World Meteorological Organization and United Nations Environment Programme. So they clearly thought it was a good idea to create the IPCC. Yeah. Again, we're not worthy, right? The IPCC, the work that they do is, for example, this document right here, Building Urban Resilience to climate change. What works, where, and why? Wow. Oh, man. Yeah. Of course, work and research like this, who do you think funds all that? Of course, yeah, it would indeed be. Who else would it be? It could only be the Rockefeller Foundation. They will be connected to the two organizations that set it up without a doubt. They will be rooted in its creation. Now, this logo here, I don't know. This is a Southern Oregon Climate Action Now logo. And as soon as I seen it, the first thing I thought was Knights of Templar. Possibly. It's just me, but you might see what I mean. If you look at on the left-hand side, sorry, the right-hand side, the top logo, that is the Knights Templar. The cross, it's in a weird angle, which is obviously noticeable. And like I said, the logo of the IPCC, I mean, come on. Really? Yeah. So I thought I'd point that out. But in terms of the Knights Templar and the Masonic societies, we will be getting into them again on Friday, a lot more, a lot deeper than tonight. That's again the Knights Templar logo that I mentioned. So, the good old IPCC, the go-to for all you need to know. I mentioned about 2 weeks ago that they were planning on bringing out a report. And yes, it has indeed landed. And it warns of irreversible impacts of global warming. Dun, dun, dun. Run to the hill, right? The report highlights the increasing impacts that are expected as the rise in global temperatures, currently around 1.1 Celsius, heads to, wait for it, 1.5. Yikes. Continued and accelerating sea level rise will increasingly hit coastal settlements, pushing them towards submergence and loss. Gloop, gloop, gloop. Gone. Bottom of the sea. Fucking hell. So, if you stay on the coast, you might want to think about getting a new house, right? Put it on stilts. Go with that. Yeah, I wouldn't if I was you, to be honest. But could they manipulate or create even a flooding scenario? I wouldn't rule that out. I think there is quite bad flooding at the moment in Australia. And I would not be surprised one bit if that's because of geoengineering. I shit you not. We touched on it before. The article, no, it was a document from the Royal Society, I believe. And it talked about some of the potential effects from geoengineering if it went ahead. It's the effects that we're seeing right now because of the geoengineering that they've already fucking done. At least in my opinion. So, to continue with it, where was I? Under all emission scenarios, the IPCC expects 1 billion more people, 1 billion more people to be at risk from coastal specific climate hazards in the next few decades. Yeah, climate hazards. Oh man, like rain, right? Wow. Is that not just weather? Yeah, climate hazards. I don't think I've heard that before. There you go. Commenting on the summary, UN Secretary General Antonio described it as an quote, atlas of human suffering, close quote. Wow. An atlas of human suffering. Yeah. He has no doubt as to where the blame lies. Uh-oh. Quickly, hide, right? I wonder who they could blame. Well, they seem to be fucking blaming us. That's the picture that I see from the media. Quote, the facts are undeniable. The abdication of leadership is criminal. The world's biggest polluters are guilty, wait for it, of arson of our only home. Close quote. Yeah. So, the world's biggest polluters are guilty of arson. They've lit the world ablaze. Whew. Up in smoke. Da 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 da. Yeah. And there's no leadership. And it's criminal. So what he's saying then, right, is that we need someone to be the leader. We need someone to lead the world in our quest to fight the weather. And what? Reverse it? Reverse it to what exactly? Fucking June 25th, 1999? What date exactly do they want to go back to? Anything that they do is only going to make it worse. Honestly. And we will get into that as well. So, the guy, he's got more. They've got more. They've got more to say. Diseases will likely spread more quickly in the coming decades. Wow. Yeah. All very fitting, right? There is a particular risk that changing climatic conditions will ease the spread of mosquito-borne dengue fever to billions more by the end of the century. Dun, dun, dun. Cue the Bill Gates mosquito. Oh, man. Of course, they're going to wipe out the mosquitoes and replace them with the drone mosquito. But as much as mosquitoes are probably wee buggers, they will indeed be a key part of the ecosystem. Not their own, but of the world. It's all connected. Talking about ecosystems, I mean, fucking hell. Honestly, I'm trying not to swear, but they are destroying every ecosystem you can think of at the moment. Unfortunately, from what I can see. And I think in the past decade, when it comes to insects, wow, rapid decline. Rapid decline. We're probably not far behind, to be honest. So don't worry about it, right? We die if we do. We die if we don't. So with that said, we may as well fight. We've got to fight against the insanity, the criminal fucking the criminality that's been carried out on the world that we're in. I mean, yeah, he's talking about the world being lit on fire. Fucking, they basically have, with their spraying, with their constant manipulation. Talk about machinery like HARP, the military. There's a a good post that I found on Facebook, and it's actually from a person that lives quite close to me, and it's a really fucking strange cloud where she describes that it rained in this big circular cloud, but it rained upwards, not downwards, upwards. That's what she said. But what she pointed out is that a military craft circled the cloud, I think twice, and then flew into it. And then I think she never seen it. But what I'm going to do is try and get in touch with the person and see if she'll come on and speak about it. I've witnessed quite a few strange weather situations myself, and the military usually they're there or thereabouts, especially the RAF in the UK. So, what sort of role have the military played in manipulating the weather? We'll get into that again in the future. So, hopefully, I can get her on, right? Where did we get to? Yeah, as well as the physical health impacts, this report, for the first time, states that climate change may be exacerbating mental health issues, including stress and trauma related to extreme weather events and the loss of livelihoods and culture. The loss of livelihoods and culture. Yeah. It all sounds very familiar. I mean, yeah. Loss of livelihoods and culture. I think because of the pandemic, they fucking kicked a lot of people's culture and livelihood well and truly out the window. But the weather, I'm unsure. I guess the media have worked their magic, their tragic magic on the masses, and they now seriously live in fear of weather events that may or may not occur. At least that's what they're telling us by the looks of it. And we touched on it before. Climate anxiety. Seemingly young people have got that today as well. It goes on. Shock horror. Would you believe it? Warming threats to species. Yeah. About half of the living organisms assessed in the report are already moving to higher ground or towards the poles. Oh, man. You can just see it now, right? They've all packed their bags. Yeah. Interesting one, that. Yeah. While up to 14% of species assessed will likely face a very high risk of extinction if the world warms by 1.5 Celsius. This will rise to up to 29% of species at 3 Celsius of warming. Right. 14% if it goes up to 1.5. 29% if it goes to 3 Celsius. If it's warming, I guess it's not going to stop, right? Yeah. For creatures living in areas that are classed as vulnerable biodiversity hotspots, their already very high extinction risk is expected to double as warming rises towards 2 Celsius and to go up tenfold if the world goes to 3. I can imagine they're going to come out. Now, I'm kind of going out on a limb a wee bit here, but I think they're going to come out and say it's warming up faster than we previously thought. And are we going to then see a lot of these studied insects and organisms? Are they going to die off? It's kind of sad to think of that. I mean, what have they fucking done? Honestly, what have they done to the world that we live in today? You've really got to wonder. Because this is a narrative, this climate disaster narrative. It's a narrative they've been running with for a very long time. They're not letting it go. It's clearly being steered in a certain direction. And by the looks of it, not a fucking good one. Put it that way. Yeah. So basically, if you look at the very bottom, the bottom paragraph, the guy's quoted saying, if it's a world where we are really making rapid progress on education and health and poverty, if climate change is imposed on that society, the risk will be much lower. So what we need to do is educate, set up a system, right, where there's no poverty, set up a new health system where everyone's equal. Yeah, and then what? The weather's gonna stop? The weather won't be as bad? Is that what they're going with there? If we educate people, the weather, it's gonna stop raining in Scotland? Oh, man. Anyway, what article have I got now? That's actually a photo that I took yesterday of a weird. The photo actually doesn't do it justice, to be honest. The chemtrail that got left, it had a very, very blue tinge to it, like a weird blue toxin chemical, if you like. Hip hip hooray, right? How lucky are we? Now, when it comes to geoengineering, there is people, fortunately, saying, hey, look, this is not a good idea. Don't do it. You'll regret it. It will be a mistake. Of course, we've said that from the very beginning. It's the ideas that they've got are insane. And that's coming from me. I mean, come on, right? So this article here, February 22nd, 2022. The planet-wide problem that is solar geoengineering. Can the worst effects of climate change be avoided by another form of climate change? Oh, man. Yeah, sure. It is February 2022, right? Yeah. Of course, that's never going to be the answer. I mean, come on. Yeah, to expand on this one a wee bit. Self-described, quote, climate skeptic and self-published author Jim Steele describes the technologies as, quote, dangerously stupid. Yeah. And outlines the human ecological consequences of historic global cooling events. Yeah, because natural or unnatural, these historic global events, um, they certainly happen. Yeah. On the other end of the political spectrum, Greta Thunberg urges, quote, there is a perfect metaphor for solar geoengineering. When you're in a hole, stop digging. We cannot move out of this crisis with the same mindset that got us into this. Now, who on earth? Oh my God, I can't believe I kind of find myself agreeing with Greta Thunberg. Fucking hell, what's going on? Oh man. I suppose even a broken clock can be right. At least once, right? But for all her agendaness, she's right. But I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter what wee Greta says. This is going to happen. I can tell you right now, possibly going out on a limb, it's going to fucking happen. Mark my words. They are going to begin it, possibly even at the end of this year. So we'll see, right? But hey, she's right there. When you're in a hole, you've got to stop digging. Speaking from experience, right? Yeah. But spraying toxic aerosols into the atmosphere is not going to be the answer. No way. Not a hope in hell. This one here. Let me grab a drink. Right, there we go. Again, February 19th, 2022. Are we still going? Yeah. Let me have a look in the comments. Good to have James in the hood, exiled Viking as well. Still going, Zainab, Mad Fox. Justine, yep, Steve, good man. Yeah, great stuff. Jojo, Liz, the Iron Maiden. Food should be our medicine, but they've spoiled that too. Yeah, I think you could be bang on the money there. Unfortunately, they've destroyed food, natural food, even the water. I mean, we've said it before. From every angle, every corner, we're under attack from the agenda. Honestly. A dog named Boo in the hood as well. Good to see you back again. Yeah, great stuff. We're still going. As far as far as I can see. Thank you for joining tonight. On Friday, we're going to get into the new war order again. The second part. It could be quite a long one. So be prepared, right? That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give away too much, but fucking hell, there's a lot to get into, for sure. So, what did it say? Termination shock. Trying to cool the earth by dimming sunlight could be worse than global warming. Wait a minute. The solution even worse than the problem itself? Wow. I mean, that's kind of the agenda in a nutshell. Oh man, it really is. It is. It genuinely is. Everything that they offer up, 9 times out of 10, it only makes it worse. So, yeah, what we getting into tonight? What's it saying? Seemingly a group of 60 scientists have called for a moratorium on this solar geoengineering, which of course is releasing aerosol particles into the sky via a fleet of aeroplanes. Wait a minute. That sounds a bit like chemtrails. Maybe that guy was right about that time he mentioned chemtrails about fucking 20 year ago, 30 year ago. Of course, yeah. Yeah. But that wouldn't have been chemtrails. That's contrails, right? These'll be different. Sure, I bet you any money they're exactly the fucking same. That'll be a coincidence. So yeah, they're gonna cool the earth by reflecting sunlight back from these aerosol particles that are totally safe and not toxic and stay in the air. Stay in the air, never come back down, right? You don't have to worry about breathing them in. Sure. But what do they mention? SAI, which is stratospheric aerosol injection, right? Might make the sky, wait for it, slightly whiter. Now, that certainly rings a bell. Even today, I can recall looking at the sky and thinking, yeah, a bit whiter than normal. Not cloudy, like a misty, milky sky. Yeah. SAI could pose grave dangers, potentially worse than the warming it seeks to remedy. Hip hip hooray! Oh, me. Yeah. So, what else did they mention? Sticking with this article, February this year. A cooler Earth means less water would be evaporating from its surfaces into the atmosphere. Huh. Changing rainfall patterns. That kind of rings a bell. This could produce ripple effects across the world's ecosystems. Yeah. But the exact nature of these effects depends on how SAI is used. Sure. Poor coordination of aerosol release could lead to extreme rainfall in some places and blistering droughts in others, further triggering the spread of diseases. Wait a minute, are we talking about now? Or are we talking about in the future? I kind of get the feeling that they're talking about now, because it certainly sounds like it. SAI could also make natural catastrophes worse than they currently are. A volcanic eruption like that of Iceland's volcano in 2010 could naturally cool the Earth as plumes of ash block sunlight from reaching the planet's surface. If this happened while SAI was deployed, it would have to be urgently adjusted. Not an easy feat, seemingly. Urgently adjusted, like the mRNA juice. Just a quick tweak, right? Urgently adjusted to avoid overcooling one hemisphere and producing extreme weather patterns as a result. Hip, hip, fucking hooray. Sounds great, does it? Kinda sounds like today. with what they describe. It really does. And if they're right in what they say in terms of effects, then they have been fucking spraying for decades because we're feeling it today. Of course, many things could be at play, without a doubt. Funnily enough, it does also mention that although nuclear war may seem unlikely, right? Of course, this was in February. Ah, man, maybe not so much now. Global nuclear capabilities continue to grow. Yeah, funny that, right? I thought we were all peaceful and loving. And bad political decision makers are in no short supply. Yeah. Ain't that a coincidence? All very fitting that, right? Here we are today. When was it? Was it March that no? Was it February 28th that the war started? I think it would have been. So before, let me check. When did this come out? Why is it not working? The 19th. So before the war officially kicked off, we all kind of seen it coming though, to be fair. But yeah, bad political decision makers are in no short supply. Putin. A quote, nuclear winter, close quote, during which global temperatures drop for years due to soot clouds from nuclear triggered fires could be deepened by SAI. Now, heaven forbid we get to that point where we are knee deep in a fucking nuclear war, balls deep in a fucking geoengineering program, and then boom, a natural disaster kicks off like a volcano. I mean, talk about on our knees. That would maybe be the time where they pull the alien card. Da-da. And the sheep say, yeah, what do you want? I mean, it's hard to imagine, but I certainly wouldn't rule out an alien deception. In terms of nuclear war, I don't think I'd rule that out either. It could get to that point. I mean, if we think it's bad now, you might want to count your blessings, start getting prepped. Don't overdo it, but make sure you keep yourself to yourself. Don't go telling anyone what you've got. Don't flash it around. That's the last thing that you want to do, because if shit hits the fan, people will change. They'll become like piranhas. Morals will be gone. They'll be out the window. Even in things like blackouts, shit can get a bit crazy. So yeah, I'd imagine it could get like that if we get to a point where we're in a nuclear war and there's no electric. The shops aren't open. They've all been fucking destroyed, looted, robbed. What you gonna do? What we gonna do? I mean, we're talking about now We're all trying to become basically self-sustainable by growing our own food. If they're destroying the fucking weather with their geoengineering, we might not even be able to grow our own fucking food. Of course, they can then have control over who grows the food. They'll have their special fucking, I don't know, greenhouses, I guess. A greenhouse city that grows food for the billionth job. Oh man. I seen I think it was a Max Egan video, and he talked about how in Australia at the flooding, you're only allowed to help if you've been triple jabbed. You can't save anyone if you've not had your juice. I mean, come on. Fucking hell. If that is true, what a world we're in. I mean, I guess it is true, right? This is the world that we're in. I mean, can you imagine a guy drowning in the water and you offer him your help? What's he going to do? Ask you if you've had the juice? Ah, man. Have you got your juice? But you don't be stupid. That's all right then. I'll just leave it. If I can give him a kick on the way down. See you later then, bastard. Of course he's going to take your hand, right? Of course. Yeah. But if that is true, I mean, what a world we are in, honestly. But I've not looked into the flooding too much in Australia. We might get into that in the future. Like I mentioned before, I would imagine geoengineering is indeed playing a part. I think a few people have mentioned it already in terms of cloud formation. But we're going to kind of need a wee bit more than that, to be honest. The truth likely will come out. I mean, poor old Australia. Fucking hell. Honestly, if it's not what? The pandemic, the tyranny, the wildfire, the flooding, the severe heat, the snakes, the spiders. Who would stay in Australia? Oh man. You should move to Scotland, right? I don't know if I could stay in Australia, to be honest. I don't think it would be for me. So yeah, about this came out about a month ago, as you can see. And like I said, there is people out there who are saying, look, it's not a good idea. But they're kind of being, it's fallen on deaf ears. They're still throwing money at it like there's no tomorrow, if you pardon the pun. But this one here, efforts to dim sun and cool earth must be blocked. And that's coming from a scientist. Obviously one that's not paid by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. If there is any out there, probably not. But there's also this side of the story where all the money is being put on. This is what's being bet on at the moment. And they're basically saying we can't afford to stop solar geoengineering research. We can't afford it. The risks are too great. The weather. It's bucketing down in Glasgow. The weather's so bad it fucking rained in Scotland. We've got to fund geoengineering research to reverse the rain. Right, let's go with that. Again, Bloomberg. This came out, I think, a month ago. Solar geoengineering research is a risk worth taking. Sorry, what? After what we just seen, after what they've just said, it's still a risk worth taking, right? Sure. I mean, come on. In the fight against climate change, the world can't afford to limit its options. Oh, fuck. In the fight against climate change. Yeah, so we're at war. Forget about the Russians. We're already at war with the weather. Yeah, cities underwater. You better get your snorkel, your flippers. Yeah, sea levels rising. How long have they been talking about that? Quite a while. Who did I see? I think it might have been Richie from Boston. I think maybe it wasn't him. I'm sure he done a video where he mentioned about staying on the coast his whole life, I think. And what is he? 80? 50? 60? He reckons the sea's not rised at all. So I'm unsure as to how much you can actually believe when it comes to the prediction of the sea level rising. Personally, I don't buy it, but I certainly would not rule out them creating what they're possibly creating at the moment in the likes of Australia. So even last year, they were coming out and saying that 9 cities could be underwater by 2030. Oh dear. That was November 2021. This came out the other week. 6 parts of the USA that could be underwater by 2050. Right, so, I mean, by 2030, by 2050, is the whole world going to be underwater? Is the prediction of the underwater cities of the future? Is that going to be the go-to place to escape geoengineering? Of course, that'll only be for the 1000th jabbed and the implanted, because of course they're going to roll that out, right? We'll touch on the implant as well in possibly next week. We have touched on it before. It's no secret. It's been well documented since I think the early 80s. They want the implant that documents all. I don't think it's that far away. A world war could certainly help push an identification chip, most certainly. So what we're going to touch on is we'll look at that other article in a minute. But what I want to show you, can I go back, is a website. What I need to do now is screen share. Oh man, I'm hopeless. I can't multitask, right? I'm still here in a full bot form. Still going. Hello to Justine. Good to have you in the hood tonight. Always a pleasure. And James, they said this 40 years ago. Yeah, about the cities being underwater. But they're not, right? Yeah, funny that. Zainab, good to have you back again. Great stuff. And we're still going, right? Let me see if I can. What do I have to do now? Screen share. Yeah, if I can remember how to work it. Oh man. There we go. Ta-da! Sorted. Now, this came out, I think about, well, there you go, February the 21st, 2022. These 36 world cities will be underwater first. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, man. Run for the hills, right? Of course, I stay in Scotland. So, what? Am I going to be all right? Should I get a boat? I think I'm going to be all right, going by what they're saying. Who have we got? Tokyo. Has it got, what date is it saying? It's not giving a date, is it? Yeah. So they're already, basically what they're saying is that it's already sinking. It's already being flooded. So it's only a matter of time, I guess. That's basically what they're saying. It's already in action now. Again, talking about an increase maybe by 3. I wonder if the trigger will be 3.3. Once it gets to 3.3, that's it. No point of return. All out new world order. Look out for it. Tokyo, in Japan. Anyone from Tokyo here? You noticed any sea level rises? Was it Japan that had the tsunami? In 2010, I think it would have been, if my memory serves me correct. What do people think about the tsunami that happened in Japan? If you can say it, I've heard a few theories, if you like, in regards to the Japanese tsunami. Mumbai, India. Gloop, gloop, gloop. Underwater. New York City, USA. Yeah, but apples can float, so they'll be all right. Oh, man, don't give up your day job, right? New York City, so it's going to be underwater. Yeah, sure it is. Let's go with that. Japan again. Osaka. Yeah. So Japan's clearly going to get hit quite bad. Istanbul, Turkey. Kolkata, India. Bangkok, Thailand. That'll disappoint a few people if they can't swim. A beautiful country though. Bangkok, Thailand, even. Jakarta, Indonesia. London! Fucking hell. London, United Kingdom. Yeah. So what they've said there as well is that the London Eye in the London Underground, it'll be underwater. Oh dear. That's monuments, famous landmarks affected by it. Yeah. So London, it's going to be gone underwater. Maybe by 2050 or 2030, right? Is a great reset, including a complete reset of the geography of the world, where they use geoengineering, a manipulated war, to roll out or instigate a new world order. Yeah. It would not surprise me, to be honest. I mean, like I said at the start, the world that we know, it's practically gone. We're going to see glimmers of it from time to time. But eventually, and we'll likely all be gone by this time, the world that we knew, it'll be fucking history. It'll be a thing of the past. Maybe like how Ho Chi Mi, Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam. It's going to be underwater. Oh dear. Yeah. San Francisco. That's going to be underwater. I think we might have people from San Francisco, if I remember correctly. Miami, Alexandria, Egypt, Sydney, down under. Yeah. Boston, Lisbon, Dubai, Vancouver, Abu Dhabi, Copenhagen, New Orleans, Dublin, Honolulu. Is that how you pronounce it? Honolulu? Zainab will know. She'll correct me. Justine or Zainab, they'll keep me right. Amsterdam, Cancun, Venice. Wait, Venice? I thought it was already underwater anyway. That's going to be even higher. I mean, if this does come about, you've kind of got to wonder how. I mean, what's happened? What have they done? What else have we got? Charleston, Macau, China, Mali, Maldives, Long Beach, USA, Savannah, Nassau, Bahamas, if that's how you say it. Punta Cana, Dominion Republic, Key West, not Kanye West, unfortunately. Oh man, Kanye West, right? Fucking hell. Yikes. Cockburn. So yeah, that's the last one to go, of course. Yeah. So if you stay in any of these cities, you might want to think about getting insurance before it's fucking through the roof for being flooded out, right? Get ahead of the game. Yeah. You've kind of got to look after yourself as well. I mean, it's hard to prepare. There's so many things happening at the moment. Where do you start? Asteroid war, flooded. Oh man, I just want to sit down. Yeah, but war. Fuck it. Who cares, right? Whatever will be at the end of the day. But we like to keep our eyes peeled, keep an eye on the narrative. We don't get fooled by it, not one bit. They try and fool us from time to time. It has happened with people in the past who have claimed to be part of, quote, a truth movement, where, for example, they believed that President Trump was going to be a good guy. That President Trump, oh man, I can't even say it with a straight face, honestly. That President Trump, politician slash businessman slash Rockefeller lapdog, was a good guy. Sorry, fucking what? And they claimed to be in what movement? But they got duped. They got fooled. And they got burnt. And I guess once bitten, twice shy. But we're kind of seeing it again with Putin. I think Putin might be a good guy. Sorry, what? Yeah. Have we not learned anything? Honestly, do we learn nothing from history in terms of what the agenda has done, how it works? Don't be fooled, especially not by any politician or world leader. Someone said, yeah, but Putin was Putin was removed from the World Economic Forum website. Oh, well, that makes him a good guy then. I mean, come on. Fucking hell. Cracks me up. It really does. Of course, that doesn't make him a good guy. He was groomed by them. He works for them. He's ex KGB. He's like a fucking double agent, like Crawley. I'd imagine he's a bit, probably very like the guy Alistair Crawley. These people cannot be trusted. Come on. Really? Yeah, but he stood up for against all the gender nonsense. Yeah, well, he might have a wee bit of fucking sense about him, but do not be fooled by him one bit. In my honest opinion, that guy is a satanic fucking monster. Much like the rest of them, Trump included. I shit you not. Fuck. Don't be fooled by them, as I nearly destroyed an ornament. That would have been me, divorced. I think it's an old wedding present. Oh, there you go. Anyway, that's the 36 cities. Hopefully none of you stay there, right? If so, you might want to get swimming lessons, buy some armbands. Speaking of armbands, wow. Talk about prices going up. Jesus. At the swimming pool we go to, you used to get them for free. Now you've got to buy them. They were about 16 quid for a wee bit of plastic, rubber even, that you blow up. Talk about fucking daylight robbery. Oh man, honestly, I think people might want to not only start stocking up on essential items like food, but maybe money. Of course, they can take that like that. They have complete control, but they want even more control. They don't want people having money for a rainy day. No, 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 no. That won't be happening in the future. Don't be silly. No, forget about that. Yeah, lots to look forward to, right, in the future. Let me jump back to the slide. What we're going to do, because I've got a few bits to go through still. Not much, but a few more. Actually, how many more? Yeah, a couple more. So what I'm going to do is play a tune because I'm going to have to get a drink. Right, so we'll go with the Amazing Grace because I might be about a few minutes. Let me quickly say hello, right? We could go longer than 11 tonight. I'm hoping not. I don't want to be too long. As always, nothing groundbreaking. Nothing out the blue. A bit relaxed. That's life, but not as we know it. Great to see everyone back again. Our brother James, our Scottish American brother from across the pond. Good to have you. Diane in the hood. I'm not much interested in Atlantis, just the pole shift. Yeah, I don't think you can move to Atlantis. I think it's underwater now. So forget about that. Yeah, I think people say that Atlantis was Antarctica, but I'm unsure. I'm unsure as to what to believe. It's not really something that I've looked into quite in depth, if you like. I kind of would. I've not. I've not really got round to it. Um, but I think that Antarctica is certainly a topic that we can get into in the future. What the hell goes on there, right? In terms of a pole shift, again, because of the weather that we're experiencing at the moment, that could be. I would not rule that out. I think that could be. That is potentially something that could be happening. Uh, we might call it a pole shift. It could be something completely different, but it's having similar effects to what we think a pole shift might create, which would be not good in terms of the weather, earthquakes, volcanoes, comets, possibly. I think Ian at the Last Jacobites, he knows a wee bit more about that than me. When it comes to comets and space, I can't believe any of it. I find it all very hard to believe, but I also don't rule anything out. It would be a mistake for me to think that I know anything because I fucking don't. So I don't rule anything out, not at all. I take it in and I try and at least remember if I can because it may be useful in time to come. Uh, we can never rule anything out. In terms of the polls, I'm unsure. I'm unsure of that, to be honest. In my own personal opinion, I think the majority of weather effects is due to geoengineering. But who am I, right? There is no South Pole. Is that not where Santa stays? Are you trying to say that Santa's not true? I think Santa's the North Pole, right? Or is it the South Pole? Fuck, I can't even remember. We'll quickly say hello, then I'll play a tune, and then we'll cover a few more slides, right? So we could go about 2 hours, 2 hours tonight. Atlantis, where are we? It's gone. Atlantis, a time, not a place. What do you reckon? Now, that's quite interesting, that. Yeah, that is an interesting thought. Yeah, you could be onto it there, Carmel, right? It's Lapland. Yeah, North Pole. Yeah, I'll need to remember that, right? So you can get my kids some presents. Save me bloody doing it. Oh man, talk about prices going up. I better not think about Christmas, right? Jesus. They're getting love and that's it, right? They should be happy with that, surely. Love and a roof over their head, but it's not good enough. They want the PlayStations, they want the Xbox, they want the tablet, they want the iPad, they want the Google Home, they want the laptop, they want the smart TV, they want the smart computer chair, they want the super duper smart computer. Yeah. The Nintendo Snitch, the latest spy phone. The list goes on forever and ever and ever. I was thinking as well today, like how the agenda could use the World War and other tentacles to push through a totalitarian new world order. And I was thinking today, do you know this? I completely forgot. I lost my place. I was reading a comment there and I lost my place. Oh man. Typical. I'd been doing so well. Oh man. I can't even remember. I hate it when that happens. Oh man. That's so frustrating. Too many thoughts, right? We'll go with that. Honolulu. Is that not what it is? I knew Zainab would keep me right and get a good laugh at that one. Yeah, yeah. I feel that with staying in the UK, and it's quite ironic. I mean, what's the word? Hypocritical of the UK to come out and talk about another nation invading another country. I mean, come on. The UK, Great Britain, talking of having the cheek, the nerve, the butcher's apron, clarted in blood, which is, of course, the Union Jack. They call it the butcher's apron because it's got so much fucking blood on it. The cheek of the UK to come out. But of course, they're all puppets on a fucking string. They've all got a part to play, no matter what they think. Oh, that's what I was going to say, actually. I was watching a video of Von Braun. I remembered. I was watching Von Braun, and I thought, yeah, well, World War II, yeah, the Nazis, this, that, and the next thing. Von Braun was a Nazi. All his cronies, the top guys in the Nazi world, came over here to become top guys in the new Western world. And of course, that is exactly what will fucking happen again if they do use the Third World War narrative to push through a new global agenda. That's what they'll do again. They'll ship the good guys over to the new side where all is good, all is well. Here, become a scientist. Here, write a book on Project Mars. Quite funny that. I was quite shocked to hear that Bart Sibrel had not heard about Von Braun being a sci-fi writer. That shocked me. I thought everyone knew that Von Braun was a sci-fi writer. Seemingly, he was also a scientist, a rocket scientist. But everything that he said they would need to do to go to the moon, they never done. So someone is telling porkies. Von Braun reckoned they would need a rocket the size of fucking the globe, if you like, to get to the moon. That wasn't the case in the end. Of course, they never went to the moon, right? Not in my opinion. I actually remembered there. So there you go. Makes a change, right? Good old Von Braun. He convinced Congress to funnel all the money into NASA. The good old Nazi sci-fi writer who escaped Germany and came to the US and started a new life, basically. All right for some, right? So, yeah, let me quickly play a tune and get a drink, and then we'll cover the last slides that I've got. Where am I? Elgin, right? So thank you to everyone for joining me tonight. Let me find a tune, and then I'll get a drink. Oh, man, what am I doing? And then we'll catch up again in a bit. What are we going to go with? Yeah, here it goes.
How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Boo! We are indeed back again. Yep, in the flesh, in full bot form. I think you're a bot because we've never seen your face. I think you're a computer. Yeah, I'm a computer. No, I'm not. I'm a bot. No, I'm a human. No, I'm a bot. No, I'm a human. Unfortunately, I'm a human. There you go. You can't win them all, right? You can't please everyone, of course. There you go. Yeah. So much appreciated to everyone for jumping in. Let me quickly. Yeah, I think a lot of people, when it comes to Amazing Grace, it reminds them of people that have passed away, like Liz. Sorry to hear that, Liz. It's yeah. Hopefully you've got many good memories of your mother, right? Good to have Justine in the hood and Zainab, good friends as well. A great wee community that we've got. That's life, but not as we know it. Jojo as well. It's not a cart that they use. People think that it's a cart. It's a haggis. They make bagpipes out of haggis, right? The animal haggis. We'll go with that. Okay. Good to have Diane as well in the hood. Back again. Great stuff. A regular. Diane. Lorna as well in the hood. There you go. Good to have you. Judy C in the hood. Back again. Judy C. Good to have you. Zainab. Where that was not the comment I was meant to get. I think the earth. Is it the earth? The birth? The earth has shifted. The north, sorry. There you go. I see your other comment. It doesn't take much to confuse me, Zainab. You know that anyway, right? The north has shifted from the. Oh, fucking hell, the comment went away. I'm hopeless. The north has shifted. The north has shifted from the North Pole to Siberia. Yeah, that would be quite a shift, though, right? Would it be enough? Would it be enough of a shift to feel severe effects of it? I don't know. I mean, when there's a pole shift, is it gradual? Is it overnight? Is it instant? Is it how long does it last? I'm unsure, but I appreciate you sharing, Zainab. Interesting stuff. That. Thank you, Diane, as well. Good to have you in the hood, and thank you for the support. Great stuff. Lorna as well. It's moving 5.25 miles per month. Faster than previously thought. Is that what they would say? I think something is definitely going on. If they come out in the media and say that it's a pole shift, I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to be able to believe it. If you know what I mean. So we'll have to kind of play it by ear. But I think whatever is happening and does happen, it's going to be distorted. They always distort the truth. They're masters at manipulating the truth. Let's face it. That's another thing that I noticed as well. Speaking of the word masters, of course that the Masons use it quite a lot. And when the guy von Braun, I think it was when he spoke to Congress, he got introduced by someone, and the guy said, "Now here he is, the master von Braun." I thought, yeah, very fitting that. Yeah, Master von Braun. We'll be touching on the Masons on Friday. There's so much to get into. Russia, Zelensky, Putin, the Masons, the Beijing Olympics. Yeah, that's cropped into my slides. Among many, many other things. I think maybe tonight or tomorrow I'll put up the the live, so you can set a reminder just in case you want to watch it live, right? If you want to suffer it. Yeah, like Bill Cooper said, I'm going to get the audio from Bill saying it, and I'm going to play it from time to time as a outro, and it's Bill saying, listen to everyone, read everything, and believe nothing unless you can prove it beyond reasonable doubt yourself, right? And that's kind of the way you've got to be in the world that we're in at the moment. Like I've been saying for about 2 years, we live in a sea of deception where we swim around looking for the truth, probably passing it or not even seeing it and being well off the mark every time, right? But we have called quite a lot. We've kind of seen where they've been steering different agendas. And unfortunately for us, it's not been in a good way. Mad Fox reckons that the pole is heading towards Russia, and there are several deep earthquakes in the South Pacific too. I think, yeah, earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, strange lightning, extreme lightning. I've seen it being tied with the pole shift, and I've seen it being tied with what some people call Planet X or Nibiru. I wouldn't rule any of that out, but again, I'm more drawn towards what I can kind of see and prove, which is weather modification, weather manipulation, HARP, organizations like DARPA and the American government and NASA, of course, not a space agency. I'm more drawn towards what I can get out of them and their history and their work rather than trying to speculate on a planet that I've never seen. I don't think anyone's seen it. Could NASA be hiding this Planet X? Quite fucking possibly. I would not rule that out, but I can't prove it, and I'm unsure of it. Again, I always point to the weather modification, what we can see, what we can prove. It's a start, at least. But again, like I've said before, what will be, will be. No matter what we do. So never beat yourself up with what's happening, with what's happening in the world that we're in. They're likely trying to blame us for the situations that we're in. It's not our fault. None of it is our doing. None of it. But they'll make you think different. Especially if you watch the mainstream media. Switch it off. Stay well clear of it. Look after your well-being, physically and mentally. And in terms of mentally, the best thing you can do is stay away from mainstream media. A lot of the sheep, they're hooked on it. Absolutely hooked. Like a drug. Like a fucking drug. Like heroin. 24 hours a fucking day. Hooked to the news. And the comical, it's quite sad, really. But it's quite comical as well. A lot of it's repeated. Looped. I mean, did they forget? The same news every half an hour, 15 minutes. And they're fucking sitting watching it for hours and hours. Oh, man. I remember a guy told me, and this is when I was about, about 19. So we're talking quite a few years ago. Just a young lad. I remember this guy saying on a vessel that he worked on in the North Sea. I can't remember what we were talking about, but it always sticks out. I always remember it in my mind for some reason. I think we were talking about different news programs and TV programs. And he said that he knew a guy, one of his mates, him and his wife, they would record the QVC or a shopping channel and watch it sometimes even a week later. And the stuff's not even for sale anymore. You can't even buy it. And they're fucking watching it on repeat. The QVC shopping channel. Oh man. I should have realised then that we're doomed. We're absolutely doomed, right? Never underestimate the stupidity of humanity. We can't. Plain Steve. Yeah, I think Plain Steve has asked twice now. So I've got everyone asking, right? To bring back the Friday fix. Yeah. I think we can make that happen. I think we're going to make that happen, Steve, right? Just for you. Only for you, right? We might get Plain Steve on again. We've had him on an open panel. I'm going to have to check what my strike situation is. And what we can maybe do an open panel again. And I can avoid getting deleted. I like to try and get people on that have maybe never done it before as well. Being on a live stream, that is. And yeah, we can get a good laugh and engage in real time. I would be more than willing to do that. In the past, even it's been a bit risky because I've always kind of been on 2 strikes. I'm trying to get it down. I think I'm on 1 until the end of this month, and then 0 for the time being. So I'm hoping to do an open panel pretty soon. So look out for that, right? Let me see. In British B as well, in the hood. Back again. Let's go back. What we're going to do right here is go back. There we go. Yeah. So we touched on the fucking... it's quite comical. It really is quite funny. The cities that are going to be underwater by 2030, 2050, it's already happening, seemingly. But the climate change madness, insanity, it's not ending there. Now, thinking back to the COVID narrative, it kind of became a cult. The COVID cult. It still is a cult. The masks. The chronic maskitis. Coined by the old man in the chair. It was a cult. It became a cult. Of course, they love to create cults, right? They're all about cultish mentality. Sheep mentality, if you like. And that's what we're seeing now. They're doing it again. They're doing it with the climate change. And now, seemingly, climate change is so scary, right? That people don't want to have children. They're putting it off. Right. So they've been scared into not having any kids. A growing number of people say they're staying childless to save the planet. But there's not much reason to think it will help. And bringing new lives into the world gives us a reason to improve things. Right. So, welcome to 2020 fucking 2. Oh man, talk about insanity, right? I'll tell you what we'll do. we'll all stop having children and we'll save the planet and we can all enjoy. Wait, bugger. Actually, I've just realised no one's going to be here to enjoy it. Yeah. Of course, these people would think in their mind, well, but if we're not here, the animals will still be here and stuff like that. Probably not, to be honest. I think humans play a key part in the system as well. I think everything does, to be honest. But I mean, talk about insanity, right? It's crazy. Dr. Britt Ray, a human and planetary health fellow, fellow at even Stanford University in the US. A human and planetary health fellow. So she's a human, right? They've got to tell you now because it could be an AI bot. Of course, it's a human and planetary health at Stanford University. That's what she's a fellow at. She said, quote, fear of a degraded future due to climate change is driving the fall of birth rates in the West. Dun, dun, dun. But it's going to save the planet, so it's all right. It's all good in the hood, right? Sure. But this one cracked me up. Maybe it's just me, but oh man, we've went 2 hours. This might be the last one. I'm kind of hoping it is. I think on Friday it could be about 3 hours. There's so much to get into. Yeah, this one, wow. Yeah, it came out the other day. The Independent. Climate change activists say they will keep deflating SUV tires until owning the cars becomes impossible. Oh man, honestly, is it just me? I thought it was Russia and China that was the place where you weren't free. You couldn't own an SUV. Yeah, maybe it's the UK. Of course, peas in a pod. They're all peas in a pod. They've all got their own ways of manipulating the masses. But at the end of the day, it's still the same beast at work. We still live under tyrannical ways in the UK, no matter where you are in the world, in my opinion. Unfortunately, we're going to have to build our own island, right? Maybe that's an idea. Has anyone got any vessels that we can borrow? We'll just sail off into the abyss, right? The Antarctic. We'll sail off to the Antarctica. Wait, the pole shifts. The poles have moved. We're going to get lost. Fuck. Will compasses even work anymore? I'm unsure. We'll have to do it by the night sky, the stars in the sky. Right, we'll go with that. They must have done it some way in the past. So this activist group, probably bloody, what's it? Antifa. I mean, Antifa, in my opinion, what Antifa are a mercenary protest group. They almost military. They are paid, funded, and told what to do. And it's never for the good, for our good, put it that way. They work for the agenda. Soros, most likely. So they're going to keep letting tires down. until they ban SUVs in the UK or within Brighton, Bristol, Cambridge, and London. Wow. You can see where it's all heading, right? They want to completely annihilate the cars that we know. Petrol and diesel engines. It's going to be a thing of the past. Fucking much like us, the way things are going. I'm still full of good news, right? Of course, we never give up. We never give in. Not one bit. Yes, stooges for Soros. Dead and drumming. There you go. Bang on the money. Absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt. You know, no one gets away scot-free. You simply do not. Not in my opinion. We all get our comeuppance eventually. And these entities, it won't be any different. Bart Sibrel, in the interview, he reckons that the evil will win in the end. I'm unsure. I'm unsure if that will be the case. I think they're going to have a fight on their hands. Not necessarily with me. I could be well and truly gone by the time that comes around. But the agenda is in full swing. Big time. And this year, it's fucking heating up. Severely heating up. I kid you not. I mean, yeah, we have a laugh and a joke, but keep your guard up. Be prepared for whatever might be in store. And like I said, don't go shouting about it. Don't go telling anyone what you've got. We're basically entering, and I have said it, the Hunger Games society. When I seen about the trucker situation and that they had no food and all the rest of it, it was the first thing that came to my mind, is that this is it. We are now being pushed into or steered into, pardon the pun, a Hunger Games structure where they might even, I mean, when you think of it like a competition, it could be nations against nations. How that'll work, I'm unsure. But plain Steve's knows. We are controlled by lunatics. Complete and utter lunatics. And that's kind of being polite, to be honest. A parallel society will help freedom. Yeah, government is always the wrong answer. Yeah, you can say that again. I totally agree with that. They're never the answer. But I think part of the agenda will be for them to say, look, you've got to get rid of the government, but we've got the solution. And it is indeed the one world order. And we're going to touch on the one world order and Russia, Putin in Ukraine on Friday, right? I'm going to make it about 8 o'clock Friday night. And I'm going to try my best not to be late. So it's a date, right? It's a bloody date. You bring the drugs and I'll bring the wine. Of course, that's a joke. Don't bring any drugs. Don't be doing that. Of course, you can have wine. Or a coffee. Speaking of coffee, let me grab one. It's an Irish coffee, right? Let me quickly say hello to anyone who's in the comments. Justine, always a pleasure. The UN, wow, where do you start with the UN, right? Talk about a criminal entity. NATO, the UN. Yeah, more manipulated entities that claim to be for the people. It's quite comical, really. Yeah, they work for the people, right? They work for peace. Yeah, the UN. Yeah, sure they do. Yeah, yeah, no more children. That's gonna save the world. Let's go with that, right? You can't navigate to stars. Well, it shows you how much I know. To be honest, I've never done it, so I probably wouldn't know. But I guess you're probably right there. But let's face it, they must have done it somehow. Uh, way back in the day, or did they just chance it? Maybe they chanced it and fucking just went for it, right? On a windy day, right? We're gonna go on a clear day, right? Let's go. We'll go for it. I wouldn't I wouldn't rule that out as my dog breaks in. So yeah, the stars as well. What was I going to say about them? Where were the stars when they went to the moon, right? They all disappeared. The guy Collins, he said, "Yeah, we never seen any stars." Then a few years later, he said, "Yeah, we did." He changed his mind, but of course, the rest of them, they never seen any, not that they know of. And in the photos that they faked, no stars. Of course, it would have been near impossible to emulate the structure of the sky in regards to stars and then have that on a background, because from what I can tell, quite a lot of people who are into astrology, they know where everything is. They know where all these constellation and stars should be. So they would have been the first people to say, "Hey, that's not right. That shouldn't be there. That's not this. That's not that." So to avoid that completely, black it out. That's clearly what they went with. As I grab another drink. So thank you to Lorna for jumping in tonight. Liz as well. Much appreciated. Good to have you in the hood. Justine. Always a pleasure to have Justine. And Plain Steve. That's Justine. Plain Steve's got a new haircut. There you go. Beautiful Justine is what I meant to say, right? Chemtrails, medicine, and food. Yeah, fucking three things that that we should stay away from, right? Of course, we need food, but what food can you trust? GMOs. Wow, maybe that's one we can get into as well in the future. Lorna as well. Good to have you. Nathaniel. Good to have you back in the hood. Painting the deck in New Zealand. Wow. Amazing, right? Yeah, it's quite late now. Almost midnight here in bonnie Scotland, where it rains tyranny. I would love to go to New Zealand. Honestly, it looks beautiful. I know, similar with the government here, it's very tyrannical. But in terms of the people and the geography, scenery, it looks great. Yeah, hopefully you've not missed any bits, right? A couple of holidays. You need to get the holiday. Fucking missed the whole corner listening to me yap on about bloody chemtrails. The guy's crazy, right? Sure. But much appreciated, Nathaniel. Hopefully you can get it finished, the deck finished, and get out on it and enjoy the day, right? Crack a beer or I don't know, bottle of Russian whiskey, if you can get any. They're talking about banning Russian whiskey. Oh man, this is so funny. People don't realize we're walking right into it again. Let's ban everything from Russia: the whiskey, the wheat, the food. Shit, wait. What do they call Russia and the Ukraine? The bread basket of Europe. Yeah. You can kiss the bread basket goodbye by the looks of it. They don't want it. There was a fuel tanker, an oil tanker that came to the UK. The people refused to unload it because it was from Russia. The fuel was for people in the UK to use for their home. I mean, come on. Can people not see what they're doing? Digging their own fucking grave. Yeah. As always, the doting human, right? These people who think they're doing the honourable thing, the right thing, completely brainwashed. Talk about the fucking blind, leading the blind. And again, who's going to suffer? Who's going to be the people that suffer due to war? It's going to be me and you. No two ways about it. Clown world. Yep. It's worse than that, actually. Satanic clown world. Like a nightmare. Good to have Liz. I'm so full of good news, right? Liz in the Hood. Justine. Mad Fox as well. Back again. British Bee. Lorna. Once again, good to have you. Zainab. 2:10 a.m. A late bedder, Zainab. Like myself, I regret it in the morning. Oh, she didn't have stayed up. Oh, man. Lives and learns. Seemingly, Scotland in Bonnie Fife. Good to have you back again. And you follow me on Twitter. Much appreciated. I don't have many followers on Twitter, but I do appreciate the people who follow me. Aberdeen as well. Right beside me. So we're kind of local. I love Aberdeen. Been there many times. Spent Christmas and New Year 2019. Booked an apartment in Aberdeen. Me, my wife, and my kids had the best time ever. And thankfully, we done it all before the pandemic kicked off. But honestly, it was great. I loved it. I really did. Not as good as Elgin, but a close second. I've got to say that, right? I've got to represent my local town, Elgin, definitely. A beautiful, historic town. Actually, what I'm going to do, I might wait until I've got a new phone. I kind of want to do a live stream where it's like I'm walking, recording, live streaming, where I go around different buildings in Elgin and explain the Masonic connection, the Masonic roots to it. I think that could be quite good, and it would be something a wee bit different. Maybe in the summer when the weather's a wee bit better, so you can look out for that. Because unfortunately, when it comes to Masonic roots, the town that I live in, it's rooted. The Masonic connection is, you can't miss it, put it that way. And what I'll try and do is explain a few bits when I do it. I really need to do it live. So it kind of crossed my mind to pre-record and then voiceover, but I think it's going to be better done live, so we can interact and a walk and talk. It'll be like that, basically. I think Mark Segan, he does them. I think Mark's is going to have a wee break, a holiday. I thought, fuck, did you not just go on holiday from Australia to Mexico? That's not good enough. He wants to go on another holiday. All right for some, yeah. But he looked a bit disappointed. I know some people have got no time for Marks. Like I always say, I listen to everyone. I take it with a pinch of salt. Only prove what I can, but I still take a lot of stuff in. And he's had a bit of an issue getting a guitar. So he's a bit down on that. I think the guitar means quite a lot to him. And I can kind of understand that. Although it's only a guitar, right? But you can grow connections to even something like a guitar. It can mean quite a lot to you. Materialistic wise, I've not really got anything like that. My dad's ashes, I guess. But my family, my kids, that's my guitar. They're who I need to protect. I can't let go. That's who I like to look after, fight for, because I do genuinely worry about the world that we're in, the future that they're setting us up for. It does not look good. So we're going to keep fighting, right? And we won't be getting into chemtrails on Friday, although it might pop up. You never know, right? But what we will be getting into is Russia, Putin, the world war order, and a wee bit about Ukraine, Zelensky. Oh man, I mean, you could not make it up. Come on, right? It's so comical. A few bits to get into as well on lots of stuff. I don't want to give anything away, so look out for it on Friday, right? And thank you again to everyone. Much appreciated. I'll play a wee tune to go out and put up some comments. And remember, Friday, because I always get told that no one gets any notifications. So just try and remember if you are wanting to join. It's going to be about 8 p.m. Friday, UK time. And maybe the Friday after, we could see the return of the Friday fix. Look out for it, right? Unfortunately, we're just wrapping it up. Leslie, you're going to have to watch on rerun, replay, whatever it may be. But yeah, Friday, 8 o'clock. Look out for it. You can catch me live again, Leslie, and hopefully you won't be late. So much appreciated to everyone. Zainab, British B, Dread and Drummond, Lorna as well. Always a pleasure to have Justine. Leslie, there you go. Diane, again, always a pleasure to have Diane in the hood. Mad Fox, my Aberdonian sister. I think you said your family or parents were Glaswegian. My late father as well, but my mother, Lossymouth. So a confused accent, to say the least. Let's go with that, right? So let's call it a night. Not really here. There we go. Where are we? Boom. We can only have hens in cages now. Where are you at? Is that in the UK? I'm unsure. What do they not want to not restrict? I mean, honestly, is it going to genuinely come down to the thoughts that we have in terms of restriction? The air that we breathe is not going to be fucking safe. Of course, we already know that. And that's not because of any COVID. It's because of what they're fucking spraying up above us. And if you've not seen over on my BitChute or Odyssey, the vaccine update that I done, the Wonder Juice, and the latest from Vernon Coleman on chronic mastitis, you're going to have to check it out. I'll link it in. Once I end this, I'll put it in the comments so you can check it out. It's a must see, not for me, but for Vernon Coleman, for what he says, and maybe for the Pfizer report. And we touched on a few bits actually, so you might want to check it out. Anyway, let me see. You're in Michigan. Fantastic. Great stuff. And Steve as well. Good to have you back again. And thank you for all the stuff that you do in terms of moderation. We all appreciate it. We really do. And British B, there you go. Where is June? I think we're gonna go with, I don't know. I don't know. Oh man. One of these days I'm going to get it right. Yeah, we'll go with this one, right? Anyway, Friday, 8 p.m. UK time, the new war order, part 2. Russia, Putin, Ukraine. Yep, the Freemasons. Look out for it. Until then, keep your eyes peeled, keep your guard up. Do not be fooled. And that is about it. Bye-bye.
Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Yes. Well, oh, you knew that too? You really heard that? The rain. the rain. Well, we haven't learned to control the weather yet, but that's something we can look forward to as tomorrow's challenge. We haven't learned to control the weather yet, but that's something we can look forward to as tomorrow's challenge.
Right. Tomorrow's challenge.